Oh, and before you leave, but you can text it to me, which interviews you want. I gotta.
What I was gonna do is get up tomorrow. No, I'll do it today. I'll tell you the ones today, but I'm gonna write a show flow that you will have.
All right. I have every interview and everything we need, so I mean it's not.
I when I get to my mom's, it's gonna take me 9 hours. Because Lisa's gonna want to eat. And one we're gonna want to stop.
Amen.
I thought you'd at least stop and get me something to eat. Damn it, shut up. Where the hell you want to go? I stay in Cracker Barrel. And I'm sick. Why Cracker Barrel? You know, I got a Cracker Barrel card for my birthday.
Oh man, I love Cracker Barrel.
I'm going to be in Cracker Barrel about 6 this evening, eating Uncle Grumpy's landslide massive breakfast, whatever it's called.
I get the country boy breakfast.
So anyway, when I get up in the morning, they got a back porch. It's made just for me. So back porch. When I get up in the morning, I got a back porch. And in that back porch, I will have my computer, Wi-Fi, and I will be. Well, Dr. Whaley's here? I thought it was Ray Tidman.
Me too. I guess they communicated.
Well, I'm glad he's here because JR wants a cigar. I sure hope he gives me more too, because I'm all about sharing, but there's times when there's only, I need 3 cigars really to feel that charitable.
Well, you get 2 every week.
No, I get 3. I take 2, give JR 1. It's like 2 for me, 1 for you. Dr. Willie, how are you, sir? It's good to have you back.
Hey, what's going on? Take a seat.
Did you get the question that has cancer involved in it?
Yeah.
Okay. You got some words in there we got to pronounce before we go on live.
Oh, we ought to let you stumble through them.
No, we're not.
What were you able to do with it?
He does that with any word.
What were you able to do with that chart?
Oh, I didn't get the chart, but I can put it up real quick. You have your email on?
Huh?
Which, tell me the site
Okay,
and I'll
I
get it.
sent you this one.
Did you send it to
then-
Sam?
I said, was anybody able just to take those big words right there and put them up? And it's probably not. So
Your volume down there.
that's all the allergy stuff.
Hang on, let me pull that side up. That's the page.
Well, yeah, that's one of them. That's the one that's got the cancer question.
Let me see that real quick. Yeah, the graph.
But I said the same. Well, she said the question.
She's on the way, but she's on the way, but I can pull it up real quick.
So she doesn't send you the answers. Let me check.
I don't think she did yesterday because I think she thought that, or we all actually thought that Ray was going to be here.
Oh, what?
We thought that Ray was going to be here. So I've shot myself in the foot saying that I've never had allergies and I have allergies.
Oh, yes. 6,000 is count. I think it's all 4,800 or something yesterday.
Well, they told me Jane was gonna be back, but I didn't pay attention. I do know you sent me your calendar, and I didn't pay attention. I didn't know if you had made it back from Morocco.
Well,
Are you gonna tell us a little bit about that?
yeah, I can. You got a whole staff of people.
No, Rick's gone out of town.
Well, you need to text Jane and tell her she's needed so that she'll feel wanted.
Oh, no, Rick sent her a message yesterday.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't answer for her. I have no idea what she doesn't know and who she's.
Yeah,
As of this morning, I know we were not communicating. So,
that's what I always enjoy when people ask me, like, "Where's Lisa?" Really? Okay, sure. I don't know what Lisa was planning to do on this. Yeah, I didn't either. I don't know. I also do not know what she's planning to do. I will find out when she tells me.
yeah, looks like they said.
All right, this is mic 3, Amanda. And I want you to get involved in the opening, and you will understand why.
You're gonna make me say wolf wolf.
Oh,
No.
God.
No, we're not going to do that. We did do the sound test, and I'll say, whoop, whoop.
That was so funny.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, right. I watched you from Morocco last week, and
Wow.
Ray didn't spend a whole lot of time thinking through his answers to some of those questions. He just sort of bounced it off the top of his head. And about 10 minutes before the showtime, I got a text from him saying, "Where is this?" He didn't know.
We thought about that morning.
He didn't pay attention to what I told him.
I could say I know the show has been viewed in Morocco.
Yeah.
Worldwide. It's 8 o'clock.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
We are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, good morning from downtown Blue Ridge. We're at Circuit World here. I'm your host, BKP. Still drinking some orange juice. JR.
Yeah,
Where you at?
working.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Like, if I get one of these, this is one of these things that I can mount on the wall, put one of these monster TVs and hang on the wall.
Yes, sir.
You know, my fear is that I'll put this mount up and put that massive TV, and I'm sitting there one day and this everything comes down. Like, I'm gonna put you on the spot right here. I'll tell you, there may even be people in Morocco watching the show, so you better be careful with your answer.
You should probably have someone else put up your TV mount
Do
then.
you have people that can install it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I got the oh yeah. That always makes me go, oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I'm gonna have to have my.
Once it's got instructions.
Oh, you're funny, JR. I'm finishing my orange juice because, you know, the great thing, one of the many great things about Circuit World here in Blue Ridge, not only the great prices on all this furniture and TVs and all the deals, it's right next to Ingles and Ingles Breakfast. So JR and I had biscuits and gravy.
You traders.
Huh?
Traders.
JR, we did.
This is the second week in a row.
JR, we had biscuits and gravy.
You're dragging me in.
Right?
Yeah.
You.
Where do you know where this is going? We had biscuits and gravy at 7 o'clock. And what did you say? You said, I said, should we get Amanda something? And you said if Amanda could get to work on time, but
You fooled me twice.
huh?
You fooled me twice.
Right?
It's there.
That's good biscuits.
That was good biscuits and gravy.
All
I
right.
didn't get bacon to dip in my gravy, though. I noticed you had some.
Oh, I had scrambled eggs, bacon, biscuits, gravy, hash brown, orange juice.
I got it all.
I
Always
did.
gets it all.
Why are you looking at me like that? Would you like breakfast next week?
No.
No. Oh,
No.
Yeah, forget it. I offered you and JR, I gave you a little trivia, a movie trivia test, and I said, if you could answer this question, I would buy breakfast for 4 Friday mornings in a row, and either of you did it. So let's get moving right along. Circuit World, Dr. Whaley is back with us from Morocco, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his trip to Morocco, and also how FYN TV is worldwide. He watched the show last week in Morocco. He is with us. Ask the Doc at 8:15. We have several big questions for Dr. Whaley today. Glad to have him back. At 8:45 will be time for our All-Star panel. Time for the All-Star panel. And Rick has to travel out of town. So we'll have Bruce, Jane, and Joey. Some of you remember our guest panelist from time to time. Joey will be with us this morning. I'm for sure she has an opinion on several of this week's issues. We'll talk about that in a minute. And also, let me just say this for those of you that always wait for our Humane Society of Blue Ridge Pet of the Week. We have not stopped that segment. That segment has not ended. But, you know, they need volunteers. They need help out there. And it takes a little extra work. And Rena has had to take care of some personal family issues with her dad. And our thoughts and prayers with Rena and all the hard work she has to do helping out her dad in this time. So they're looking for somebody to bring the pet for the show. They need some extra help. So if you want to help out and volunteer, and if you would like to maybe say, hey, I can bring the pet down for the show on Fridays, we'd love for you to contact them at the Humane Society of Blue Ridge.org or find them on their Facebook page and tell them you'd like to help out. So we have not discontinued the Humane Society of Blue Ridge Pet of the Week. Actually, I miss that so bad. You know that. You know how I am. I love to round out the show with a loving puppy.
But we do have a slideshow that
we have a slideshow for you. Are there cats in the slideshow? If you guys, I don't see the slideshow. Have you guys been slipping in pictures of cats?
maybe.
Maybe. Okay. All right, folks. We got a couple minutes here before we get started on our Ask the Doc segment. But before we start, last night in the governor's race of Georgia, Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle did receive the endorsement of the NRA. I know several of the other Republican candidates in the race for governor of Georgia are, to say lightly, a little upset and trying to make their Second Amendment credentials very well known this weekend. But the NRA endorsement of the candidates for the Georgia governor's race did go to Casey Cagle. We got a message last night. That's one thing that we're talking about this morning. You know, there's such a whirlwind of news. And you try to pick out what is serious and what we really have to apply our attention to. Although I enjoy Diamond and Silk, I think it's humorous. I think it's funny when Diamond and Silk do their little routine that they do on YouTube. But I don't know that that is the important news that I really need to focus on this week. So let me start with this. Yesterday, Mike Pompeo, which is the current director, so think about this, he's the current director of the CIA. And to be the director of the CIA, he had to sit through confirmation hearings, okay? And he sat through the confirmation hearings not a year ago, right? He sat through the confirmation hearings a year ago. And, you know, they come after you left and right. The left come after you about so many different things. The right comes after you. And then the committee votes. And if you get a majority of the committee votes, that means your nomination for that cabinet position then goes to the floor of the Senate for confirmation, okay? So that's the little how it works, all right? Senate hearing committee, the committee hears the testimony from the candidate going to be the cabinet member, then they vote, and if it's voted a majority, it goes to the floor for a vote, and then you become one of the cabinet members. Now, we are sitting, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this because we are sitting on sometime in May, first week of June, the President of the United States, okay, will be holding talks with the leader of North Korea. Kim Jong-un will be meeting with Donald Trump, okay? We have the chemical gas attack, okay, in Syria that we're looking at. We have the Iranian nuclear deal that comes up in about 4 weeks on whether the President of the United States is going to sign and recertify it. We have so many serious State Department issues around the world that need to be addressed. Okay? No, I'm serious. Okay? Take me serious on this. Because this is where we're at. So yesterday, Mike Pompeo, all right? Mike Pompeo is sitting there again in confirmation hearings because he's the nominee, the new nominee for Secretary of State. So he's sitting there in the new confirmation hearings. It's already gone through this a year ago for President Trump. And these senators are firing some of the just wildest statements at him. And the major theme to me you work for the President of the United States, but will you disregard him? Will you push back on him? Will you say no to him? I mean, on and on and on. If the president asks you to do something because, he may get up in the morning and tweet out that he wants to bomb somebody, will you be strong enough to push back? All right, this. Okay, so we know this is coming. But then, with everything we have going on in the world, New Jersey senator, now stay with me, you can Google this, you can watch the video. I'm just trying to frame up where we are at on so many levels in this country. Cory Booker, the senator from New Jersey, wants to know if Mike Pompeo is okay with gay sex. Knock me over, pause for a minute. When we go to commercial, take a second and Google, did I just tell you the truth? Seriously. Pompeo has made some statements that I don't have time in the past that support what he calls traditional marriage. Okay? And he calls it, he has made a statement where he has called it an alternative lifestyle. Right? Now, folks, in America, if you feel that you want to call it traditional marriage, well, all hell may break loose. But that is on your Senate floor yesterday. Cory Booker. Would Mike Pompeo protect the rights of same-sex marriage in the State Department? I'm sitting there thinking, really? Come on, Senator, you know we have laws now. You know the Supreme Court ruled, gay marriage is legal. I mean, where are you going with that? And it just got me where we're at when the State Department is probably, no pun intended, the deep state could be, the State Department could be renamed as the deep state of what we just went through with Hillary Clinton. List goes on. So, do you hear in the news that unemployment claims are the lowest they have been for the longest period of time in 44 years? No. It's 44 years since the period of time of 100 and some weeks, 55 weeks or something, I forget the actual number, of unemployment numbers or unemployment claims. New unemployment claims, let me get it correct, are the lowest in 44 years with the longest consecutive drop. You don't hear that. Paul Ryan is leaving. Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, is leaving. So one is to wonder, what's first on Paul Ryan's list? Be a lobbyist or get a book deal? What's first? Oh, no, I have two jobs.
Oh, good. I get to watch Bill.
All right. So what's first on Paul Ryan's list? Be a lobbyist or get a book deal? Which one is it? Do you realize America has come down to a book deal? Is that who we are? James Comey is going to make all the rounds Sunday night. His book is already, James Comey, former disgraced FBI director, his book is already on pre-sales on Amazon #1. A book deal. Is that a crisis that we're having? Is that a constitutional crisis that we cannot have people that want to serve? want to serve their country without a book deal or a lobbyist deal on the other end? So this weekend, we're going to hear James Comey say that Donald Trump acts like, operates, and looks like a mobster. No joke. But guess what? Last Tuesday, this past Tuesday, I came on and I said that. And it is all over TV now. The Trump, I think he called him, I forget what he called him. He said he acts like and operates like a mobster. Really? Paul Ryan is leaving. Paul Ryan is leaving this week. Cory Booker's concerned on whether Mike Pompeo will protect gay marriage and gay sex. Seriously, if being Secretary of State. Mark Zuckerberg, he goes up. This is our new line, Amanda. What I learned this week is everything the senators asked Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook, he said, my team will follow up on that. My team will follow up on that. Senator, my team will follow up on that. Senator, my team will follow up on that. And then when asked what happened to Diamond and Silk's Facebook page, he said, our team, and it's good to know out there at Facebook, they are team players. They're a team, right? I wonder if they all got softball jerseys, for the street, I want to be like, who's going to be on the softball team this spring? Our team made an enforcement error.
So somebody made a group decision. A liberal group decision.
Anyhow, that's a little bit of all of it, but we're going to break it down a lot of different steps. Republicans may be a little nervous come November. We're going to talk about that. I'm your host, BKP. We are live here at Circuit World in Blue Ridge. As soon as we return, it'll be time for Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. We'll even get the chance to say hello to Dr. Raymond Tidman. Take us a break, man.
All right, you're clear. Hey, do you both want to get up there and talk today? Both of them? We can't?
Dr. Tidman, I apologize if our staff made a team enforcement error.
That's all right. You got me out of a very boring medical meeting.
We'll give you a 2 for today.
How are you, Dr. Tidman?
I was better, but I got over it.
Do we need to pull the other speaker?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it. Don't worry about it.
Well, I tell you what, this is good because what we'll do is we'll leave the jokes in.
All right. So I don't get to talk about the pot smoking in the damn medical in the hot states that are legalized. I will spend a minute or 2 on the allergy question.
All right. The second question.
Yeah, mild something. You don't need it. You say, hey, Dr. Willie, read the second question.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you do like to see.
I like
the answer to the question is yes, because thick kidneys don't. Oh, no.
That's expensive urine.
Yeah, right, exactly. That may near as expensive urine as CoQ10 and all the rest of that crap.
I don't want to disgust somebody, so I'm going to be careful with my question, so I won't ask it now. Like, how much does the head hold? Because I keep thinking there's no way in the joke you asked, yes, and my head is empty. But I keep thinking there's no way I can blow anything else out of it.
It doesn't hold.
It's
making it better. Now,
oh, okay.
You could ask that question. I could make a real interesting comment for it. Because you
set yourself up for a real injury.
Yeah, you make in your head and neck and GI tract something in the neighborhood. I'm pretty sure I'll do it close, like 50 gallons of liquid a day goes through the GI tract, from what you secrete in the GI tract.
Ah,
And you absorb 99.9% of it and have 100 to 500 grams of stool, right?
Yeah.
You got that? Your kidneys filter in health 70 to 110 liters of fluid a day. That's how much urine you make. 70 to 110 liters of fluid a day, which is absorbed back out and you pass less than a liter. Now, if you just take those two things and think about it. You can secrete so much stuff in your head, but the natural history of what goes in your head is that it's not pathological, it's dripping down your throat, you're swallowing it all. But you're making gallons of stuff up there every day.
Well, and you're swallowing it, and that's why I have this nice little
Yeah, but
right here.
I mean, under normal circumstances, when you don't have any symptoms.
Let me ask something important. Has the Buddy Hackett show, the rural justice farmer in the city hall?
No.
I hate repeating jokes, sir, but tell me.
all right, you guys ready? We are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Folks, we are back. We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. We want to thank Georgia Cancer Specialist and Northside Hospital for this segment. But you are looking at the All-Star Medical Panel. Yes, we have 2 All-Star panels today. One is political next.
Right, that's the next.
That's the next up.
This is called the Ben and Jerry show.
Yeah. Whoa. That's a Vermont.
Okay. We have an all-star medical panel. We're so happy to have Dr. Reagan sitting with us this morning. He said we pulled him out of quite an exciting medical meeting he was having, right? So we're sorry to take you away from that this morning.
Broke my heart.
Broke your heart. And Dr. Whaley is back from Morocco. Before we get started,
That's the whole thing. See, a week ago, Dr. Timber was here,
Mhm.
and I was watching you live in Morocco.
right.
So it is a worldwide audience. And now in the next 4 or 5 weeks, I'm going to be gone so many times, it's not funny. So we've got this calendar with a red spot here, a green spot there, a purple spot there. And so we've kind of mixed up the spots, so we're both doing that.
Well, we want to say
And he'll be back a lot of times in the next 4 weeks.
we want to say we're so grateful because when you do travel, our doctors that step in and come and say hello are great. Just absolutely great. So we
Yeah,
appreciate
he's
it.
a lot of fun tonight. Which means it's time for a joke, right?
No, that's his closing. I can't take it closing. Okay, well, listen, we have both of you, and we're begging you. Now, last week we found out this was the OPEC of pollen, okay? Which was interesting because then I think it's 3 days ago, one of the charts come out, and it's a record that we did not want to hit, like the second highest pollen count in history or something in this North Georgia area. And so we are begging you to tell us something that can help alleviate these allergies. And I am taking my pill every day. I'm taking that every day. I'm going to. My allergies are really affecting me lately. Besides an over-the-counter allergy medicine, is there any other thing I can do to prevent them from causing me a sore, itchy throat and headache?
Well, the answer to the question is, of course. But the practical answer to the question is, there's a lot you can do, but it's very troublesome and expensive. So I want to stay in the non-going to the doctor, not getting on the allergy shot routine, okay? But going to the doctor, getting tested, skin tested, going on the allergy shot routine is not available to most people. It's not something that we do well. Really. So when you think about prevention, I was hoping that Sam and Amanda could make a chart out of these. I'll just hold this up here. You can see that there's about 3 closely single-spaced typewritten pages here. of allergy proofing your environment. Now, I'm just going to read 2 or 3 of them so you'll see how impractical this can be. Talking about each room in the house. So take the living room, the kitchen, everything else, but it begins with remove all carpet. Use hardwood or linoleum flooring, washable area rugs that are low pile, get a high efficiency HEPA filter, shampoo any carpets or so frequently. Now, they give you curtains, blinds, windows, furnishings, clutter, pets. If you cannot find a new home for your pet or dog, keep them out of the house. You can't do that with it.
Well, they didn't say vacuum your cat.
No, they
That would
didn't.
be no, except your cat. If you vacuum your cat, you're gonna get hurt.
Then choose an air filter with a HEPA small particle filter. That's just one room. Okay, so to answer your question, there are all manner of things that are sold. Some of the practical ones there are covers that you put over your pillow, because if you remember, you shed pounds of stuff into your pillow. Mites are what do you call those mites? But anyway, those little bugs. Yeah, no, not cat bugs, right? No, that's at the book shop. Anyway, there's mites in your pillow, and there are allergy-free things you put over it. There are these big plastic things you can put over your mattress. But honestly, in a real house where you've got kids, you've got dogs, when your kids come in from outdoors, even if you want it allergy-proof your house, they're bringing pollen in on their clothing. So this period of the year, tree pollens is going to end in about another 4 weeks. And as it ends, it's going to get worse. Why?
Well, I don't really know.
Grass.
The grass.
It's going to do this until blinking October. So you just might as well get used to it. Because after that, after the grasses have all bloomed, then you're going to have the cockroaches, and you're going to have the funguses, and you're going to have the moles, and that's going to be the wet and hot summer. And then that's going to go away, and then you're going to get the ragweed and yellow fever. So, and yellow fever, what that's the ragweed and
Yellowtail.
huh?
Isn't it yellowtail?
Yes.
It's not them.
The question is a serious one, because people, my eyes are red, and I sound terrible. As long as my car is green, I'm miserable. So, yes, there are things you can do if you really are, badly allergic. Go see the doctor, because you may very well need to have allergy tests and have some desensitization. But if you're like the rest of us and it fluctuates like this, remember that the American Academy of Allergy and American College of Point Family Practice Group, called AFP, changed their recommendations for over-the-counter self-medication this year to start with a nasal spray with cortisone in it, which in the drugstores around here is generic, and it sits next to the brand Flonase, and add the Claritin and stuff second, and then go to the nasal chrome filler. Go to the nasal chrome filler. Right. Make a long story short, yeah, you can do something that's expensive.
Well, you say something that sometimes maybe we don't think about, especially myself, because I like to sit on the side porch. If it's falling down on your car and your car is green and your walkway is green and the glass table on your porch is green, then it's falling down on you and you're carrying it into the house.
But that's not the one that makes you sick, because that pollen is heavy and hits the ground. The only pollen that bothers you is the one you can't see that goes in your nose and your eyes. So it's not that green pollen on the ground and in the lake that bothers you at all.
That's fine.
That's
too big to bother.
It doesn't just do it. It just happens at the same time.
But I will interject, though. I think you're exactly right about the environmental issues. I mean, unless you live in a plastic bubble, it's right. But now there are some patients that have moldy basements or places in their house that are just not well taken care of. They should identify those. Too often initially, we don't even think that that's going on, but it's going on. So if you are having if you're a lung patient, have COPD with bad asthma, and you're having repeat episodes, really putting inventory of your house. Is there a place that just needs to be looked into?
We've talked about this before several weeks ago. There are people that say, I never had an allergy problem, and all of a sudden it's bothering me. That's possible at any time in life?
Absolutely. People drive without their seatbelt dozens and dozens of years before they have a wreck. When you're first arrested for a DUI, statistically, you've driven impaired 350 times. So you get an allergy which you didn't have before. How about that?
Okay.
That's pulling it out.
It is. Isn't it?
Okay,
All right.
we're gonna give this question to you, Dr. Tidman, and then we're gonna come back to our big question in the morning. But this is a big question, as simple as it sounds. Is it possible to take too much vitamin C?
So let me answer this in two different ways. Number one, we deal with what I call a nutraceutical business. It's essentially unregulated. Those folks that are selling that stuff that does not require a doctor's prescription are not looked at until they kill somebody. And then they get looked at really hard. So you've got all kinds of folks making things and selling it and saying it does something that it doesn't. Specifically, vitamin C, it's been around a long time. There's books written about it, all kinds of almost folklore. At the end of the day, there's no real science that does anything.
I think that when me and Sam sent out that email, we sent them the book because we didn't know who was coming, so they're not.
It doesn't cure cancer. It doesn't cure heart disease. It doesn't do these those things that we can scientifically prove. So, can you take too much? I mean, if you gave it to yourself IV, you probably could, but your stomach's pretty good about passing it through. You can eat tons of it and only get a little bit of bloodstream. Other than making expensive urine, I don't think.
Okay, I'm arguing this.
Sure.
We'll always go to the source. Water-soluble vitamins, vitamin C, can generally be tolerated at high doses, with toxicity early occurring at doses thousands of times the recommended dietary allowance. The exception, vitamin C, which can increase the risk of kidney stones at doses that are only 10 times the recommended daily amount. Now, remember, where do we get vitamin C from? Saline chips. Expensive urine. Saline chips, remember, guys got scurvy. Teeth fell out, they got big old bruises everywhere. And the British learned that lime, that's why they're called limes. That limes, which they could get in South America growing on the trees, when they brought limes aboard the ships, it eliminated the scurvy. And that's how British got the nickname limes. Well, it wasn't for 180 years that anybody discovered that the lime and the orange and the grapefruit and everything else included this nutritional thing called ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. And now, the truth of the matter is, the amount of vitamin C we need in the diet every day is very low. And 10 times that amount can be as little as a couple of grams a day. And when you read the nutraceutical business profit stuff like he's talking about the common cold, people talking about taking 10 grams of vitamin C a day to prevent the cold. Well, if you got conspiracy theory people like we all know who they are, the graph on the
not here yet.
over there, who believe that there's got to be a pill that will help you lose weight and another one that will help the memory and everything else. You can't take too much vitamin C. So my recommendation is if you really bad want to take vitamin C and have a expensive urine, whatever size they're selling.
It's hilarious.
Buy the generic one and say one pill a day and take
What time will we have to be there?
what the manufacturer says.
Just be there. I'll have everything set up. Just be there like 5, 7, 50 or so. So we can go over.
Well,
I get there at 7:30, so whenever.
I like
Just-
my oranges, I like my
I'll get there
grapefruit.
like
That's all I need.
Yeah, I'll get there at like 7:20.
That's about.
Except remember Sam asked a few weeks ago about that grapefruit interfering with your medications. And seriously, if you take a whole handful of pharmacy drugs, and I take 10 blood pressure pills a day, you probably ought to just quit eating fruit. Makes it a lot simpler.
It changes the rate of absorption and the blood levels. It can really affect the hormone.
You know, I always,
Take orange juice and lime.
yeah, I always wondered, I always wondered
Okay.
why, you know, blood pressure medicine would say, don't take with, you know, grapefruit, don't eat grapefruit. I always wondered what the significance was, but it's the absorption,
Rate of absorption.
that changes that. Okay, now our next question. Dr. Whaley, you're gonna have to read this question yourself,
Okay.
because I cannot even.
This is I really felt sorry for President Road asking this question, because it's a seriously asked question. And I think somewhere there's misinformation here. I'm going to check our moderator for that to pronounce it.
You'll understand.
My husband was recently diagnosed with a cutaneous leiomyosarcoma. Put that chart up while I'm talking to you. He has had a spot on his leg for 4 to 5 years, with the tumor visibly growing over the last year. He was scheduled for surgery to have this removed. We were told the type he has a very low metastasis rate, but I am concerned that they did no imaging of the leg, such as an MRI. Is this normal to have not done further screening for this type of cancer, especially with the amount of time that it has been present? So this is a legit concern of a family member. And unfortunately, the family member has got some misinformation somewhere. If you look at that chart about sarcomas, it's up on the screen now.
Sure.
Sarcomas are rare forms of cancer. They're less than 1% of all malignancies. And their site of origin is anything in the embryonic developmental stage that comes from the mesenchymal tissue, which is muscle, bone, skin, stuff that's not neurological. And so they're characterized by their site of origin. So if it comes from fat, what looks like fat, it's called a lipoma, and then it's a leiosarcoma, and muscle is myo, and so leiomyosarcoma is a fat muscle tumor. So there's not, that tissue doesn't exist in skin. So the very outset of the question is one that's got a problem with. Leiomyosarcomas are muscle. So if there's something below the muscle that they thought was a leiomyosarcoma, yes, I think a bunch of imaging should have been done. Now, skin sarcomas or funny tumors that are slower than microscope, the removal of the tumor is the first order of business, because you really need good pathology before you go any farther. Now, there are sarcomas of skin. I don't want to indicate that they're not, but the most common one is Kaposi sarcoma of skin, which occurs primarily in people who are Ashkenazi Jewish ancestry and so forth, but is the most common malignancy that was the diagnostic hallmark of the disease AIDS. So we don't see much Kaposi's anymore because there's such good AIDS treatment. People who you see, and you'll see these people on the street and they'll there's something wrong with them, generally when they're in their 40s and 50s, they'll have little nodules around the skin of their face or their arms, sufficiently to be visible. That's called dermatofibromatosis. And those people can get a skin sarcoma, which is exceedingly rare. And basically, that's all the primary sarcomas that occur in skin. So I would say that the slowly growing lesion that has been biopsied, that they have told you has a low mitotic rate and a very small chance of metastasis, the appropriate treatment is going to be wide excision, then good pathology, and if necessary, additional steps.
And if I might chime in, from the primary care perspective, this is practice and I talk about men in healthcare, with the sort of female birth. if you have a lesion that is growing, changing in color and size, or any of the three, and so apparently this thing was happening for a while and it wasn't intended to. And, you know, clinicians were kind of appalled at that. But particularly you have to get after the men in your family because they think they get over everything all by themselves. And as we get older, we don't. And so you just need to pay attention to your skin and do something that you're worried about. Just look at it. Easy and quick.
For our viewers in Australia, since we've already proven that we're a worldwide audience, there's a statement in Australia that says, she'll be right, mate. And I went down to Australia in 1976 to look at hospitals for Hospital Corporation of America to purchase. And that concept of she'll be right, mate, leads to the country of Australia having malignant melanoma diagnosed in advanced stage, lung cancer in advanced stage, and colon cancer in advanced stage instead of an early stage, because a man will cough for a year, lose 20 pounds, and start coughing up blood, and continually think she'll be right, mate, before he says go to the doctor. And that concept that Ray just emphasized is, I saw a guy the other day with a huge tumor in his neck who refused to see a doctor for 8 years. But men, you can't see the backside of your body. When you stand in front of the mirror and you see something on your thigh and it's changing, you ought to go. But you need your wife to look at the backside of your body, or your golf partner, because the whole backside of your body you can't see. And unless you're going in to see your primary care doctor every year or two and get him to take off your shirt and take a look at you, you don't know what's on the back half of your body. So we really have opened up a pretty good line of inquiry here about this business with healthcare for men.
Well, I know, and I
You
want to
say
thank you
women
very
can't
much,
see their backside.
Dr. Tindman, and I know every
They
time
probably
Dr.
can,
Tindman's on the
a little
show,
bit easier.
you stress men's health care, and you continually stress, for men to go to the doctor.
That's man's job. He's a link in primary care. Now he's going to see women too, but somebody else is going to tell her, do his job.
Okay, well, now wait a minute, that's 3 questions. We have 3 questions. So we usually give Dr. Whaley an opportunity if there's any current events or anything he would like to close with. But before we do that,
No, we will end up with it.
oh, you want to end with it?
I want Ray to clean up.
All right, so we close
He's
with
gonna
the
go
all right.
first. He's gonna
Okay,
go
so- Whoa. All right, so we're gonna switch it up. All right, Dr. Tindman's gonna give us our closer with something he may have a little joke.
So there was
And
so
you-
much publicity in the closing days of the session about the marijuana, medical marijuana.
Okay.
And that big
I
article in
can
the
see
paper.
them
the first
because
week.
we're already really
I
close,
did a
and
lot
that's
of
made the
research over the
picture
weekend
look
about
so much
the
better.
outcome of the
I'm gonna
legalization
try
of
to,
marijuana in
keep
various
them
states.
there,
The CDC
but try
published
to angle it in this way.
Monday an analysis
Can
of
see
the
how,
state of Colorado.
you can't really tell here,
First,
but this is what it
one
looks
year
like.
of use of marijuana. And they did
This
a
is on the
survey
screen.
of the workplace with enough
Yeah.
input to be statistically significant. 30% of workers in the age group 18 to 25 have used marijuana in the prior week. In terms of age group, then the numbers begin to fall as you get older, and there are very few over the age of 50. Now, when you get into the fields of employment, greater than 1/3 of restaurant and food workers have used marijuana in the prior week. It was just 30%, which is a little less than 1/3, of workers in the recreation, entertainment, outdoor business have used marijuana in the prior week.
And then it began to fall off. In the construction industry, it was about 12%. Now that's a huge number of people work in the workforce using marijuana as frequently as once a week. Now, the next part of that is that if you use marijuana infrequently, so let's say once a week, it lowers your ability to make hand-eye coordinated actions and lowers your perception of time, so that the motor vehicle accident rate in industry in Colorado went up in that year. On-the-job injuries went up in that year. Nobody's been able to analyze how many errors were made in pricing TV sets are going to be sold and making that kind of error. But the point was that when we are arguing for marijuana as an adjunct for healthcare, I'm as big as advocate, and we've talked about this for years. But when that slipstream comes around right behind it and talks about legalized marijuana for recreational use or decriminalizing the use of marijuana, I think you're opening up an area that's just absolutely hazardous and dangerous, and it just ain't right. There, I'll stop.
I'll chime in. This is such an important topic. You know, a couple of podiums, so bear with us. But you know, I have this.
Do a show card. I just had.
I'm not doing a marijuana show card.
No, old
No.
But from the clinician's point of view, life is hard and frequently tragic. And we try our best to get through it, and we try not to have a life story that is tragic. Given that, why do you want to make yourself stupid? I mean, it just doesn't jive. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you really need to use all of your brain and all of your noodle to get through this. And so I'm not fond of the idea of helping people get stupid. I go into school, going to college, learning things, listening to things. That's my one thing.
Yeah, you joke, right?
Yes.
No, I'm not helping people get.
That's exactly
Why
right.
push it along? All right.
Right.
So,
All right, now, everybody pay attention.
you know, we live up in the country. And by the way, there's something in the paper about lifespans and health rates and all that kind of stuff. And it's sometimes this urban perspective that rural people don't do things. And I hate that. So ignore that thing in the paper about death rates and health rates, because to me, having said that, I heard this story about this farmer, and he was
I'm so
in the
glad
barn
I
where
have two
he
girls
heard
in
gunshot.
Yeah, two
And
girls.
he comes out, and there's a duck
Fine.
laying there, and dead duck
Fine,
laying
Lord.
there in the front yard. And there's a big fellow climbing over the fence with a shotgun. And he said, what are you doing there? And the guy said, well, I'm Mr. Smith. I'm attorney, well-known attorney in Atlanta, and I shot that duck. That's my duck. The farmer looked at the duck and said, well, that's my duck. It's my land, my farm, my duck. Well, it's mine. It's mine. I shot it. It's mine. I'll shoot it. The farmer looked at him and said, well, why don't you sell this country stuff? And the guy said, well, how do you do that? And he said, well, we swap lips. You know, I get you, you get me. Whoever gives up first, the other guy gets the duck. I said, okay. All right. He says, well, now, the rule is that the locals go first. And the guy goes, all right, take that shot. The farmer reared back with his work boots, kicked the guy right in the crotch. Dropped him to his knees. He's on the ground, rolling around. Takes him about 5 minutes to get back there. He goes, okay, my turn. The farmer says, that's all right. I give up. You can have the duck.
Not going back and forth, man.
That's just country wisdom.
All right, so we got about pot smoking and.
We don't want to. I don't know what we've done this for. We don't want to.
If y'all like the community doctor approach to this thing, you can send in some positive things.
Yeah, we don't want to accelerate the rate of nothing. I'm not. It's time to go. I'm your host, BKP. This has been a great Ask the Doc segment with our all-star medical panel this morning. I want to thank the Georgia Cancer Specialist and also Northside Hospital for this segment. And we're going to come right back and change panels and bring the all-star panel in, and they're ready to weigh in on everything that happened this week, from Speaker Paul Ryan leaving to James Comey new book to Mark Zuckerberg testifying. You name it, we're going to talk about it. Take us a break.
You're clear.
No, I'm thinking the same thing. That's all I wanted to do.
Well, I think we did a good job.
I think so too.
Ben and Jerry. I don't know. Those guys are too freaking little.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with Jen as usual.
Hey Ray, how's it going?
Jolene, take Rick's place, and George on the end.
I bet that would have been great. You know, I didn't watch it. I'll have to pull it up.
You got to
From
pull
the,
it up.
further
Yeah, it was a Ben and Jerry, Ray and Bill show. It was good.
I wondered when you were going to get women in there because they can't see their backside either.
I know, but
Yeah.
we're
When we're done, I'm
emphasizing.
gonna put stuff in my bag.
Already, we're talking about that side.
You good?
That'd be fun. I'll pull it up and watch it.
Right there.
Showed up today just for you.
Jane.
Yeah, let's make it.
And did you go to Monaco?
No.
I know that, but somebody told me, Rick said I think joined.
Any idea, but it's next week. I think next
So
week.
now we
we'll
know
have
Rick doesn't usually get really bad.
Mississippi
I know
River.
it.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I needed
I don't know,
that.
Mississippi
I mean,
River,
when
my
I called him,
classmates from
that's
Dartmouth.
all I told you.
I'll send you a
Rick,
slideshow of my sailing.
I didn't think.
Oh, hey, yeah, that's where I'm going next. I'm going down to Mississippi
How's your
River
mom?
for 8 or 9 days.
Right.
With the Dartmouth class of 1962 and some
Oh, God.
lecturers on Civil War history. Then we'll be back 5 days. Then I'm going to Monaco to visit my 8th wealthiest Englishman as my patient. Then I'm going to Madrid for 4 days. And then Marlo and our flags are going on some kind of cruise. You know, we hate cruises.
Let's go with Paul Ryan stepping down first.
So hey, listen,
So,
if you've got a really good
Paul
memory,
Ryan
just
stepping
put
down
his name in the back of your head.
You
Rule.
say that, I like it.
He was the RUHL Romanian. He was the husband of one of my nurse practitioners years
How are
ago.
you today?
And he's a retired FBI guy who went back and got a PhD in Civil War history. And last I heard, he gives talks on these river cruises.
Oh, really?
So his name's Fred Roman. He's an
Okay.
interesting guy.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he'll be
We got 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
That's always been on my bucket. My band was
Yeah.
and my band was watched the way the Vicksburg campaign, and we're going to send away in after 2 days again. Hey, those are-
So I was going to do the last cruise and then do.
All right, guys, are we ready?
Tell us we have to be working like that.
We are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, we're back, and I'm your host, BKP. We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge, and we're happy to have our guest with us that comes in sometime. When we get you up from LJ, Jolene is with us today. Rick is traveling. We wish you well, headed out to the coast. Glad to have Jane back.
Yes,
I know I watched it.
Oh, that's exactly, well, we're gonna try to clean that disaster up. So we, Bruce, and then there's Bruce.
And Rick's going to the left coast.
Yes, Rick is out on the
Oh, my
left
God.
coast, yes, left coast. Bruce, Joanne, and Jane, thank you for being here, all-star political panel. Let's get started. How many times, I can't remember when so much happens in a week. And I don't mean just this past week. Every week, so much happens. I wonder, what do you really gravitate to or try to pay attention to keep up with everything? Let's start with Speaker Ryan. Paul Ryan has announced that he will be leaving The speaker, he will no longer be speaker or congressman. He will be going back home to spend time with the family, and he's done.
When is he leaving? Before even he's through, or he just?
At the end of his term.
Yeah, I didn't. But he's not stepping down from speaker now.
No.
I just heard a little bit of that, but I'm amazed.
There's some push for him to do that.
Well, let's start with this. Speaker Ryan stepping down and not even seeking another term in the House. What say you first? Let's go down the line. How do you feel about that?
Well, I understand the basis of the decision. I mean, he said he has some kids that are getting older and wants to be around, spend some more time with them. And I understand that. And, I think they'll find somebody else to put in there. Mike rolls in at the end of the week.
Okay. All right. I like that. It's happened. I know what you're saying. Hey, life rolls on. But are you happy, or are you do you like the thought that somebody else, anybody else, is not going to be speaker and he's moving on? Or
I'm neutral on it. I think, you go from Painter to him, to at all. Just change the face. I mean, he did some good things, tactical, other things that I think he dropped the ball. But by and large, they will find someone that'll fill the shoes and maybe be a little bit more aggressive on something.
okay, Paul Ryan, that's the question that comes to you.
Well, I think that Paul Ryan, most of us didn't want him to be speaker to begin with. Whether or not he's done a good job, speaker is just sort of a puppet player. Here we are, sort of glad that he's not going to be there maybe, but who else are going to get in the twice? It's going to be any much different. I mean, I have to say I admire the fact that he's announced now in one way. Instead of doing like so many of them do, they go ahead and get reelected, and then they resign, and later someone appoints someone over the special election, and we haven't done well in the special elections. But he adds to a huge number of very senior Republicans that aren't going to run for reelection, and that's really troubling. Hard enough for the people whatever, but we lost a lot of senior people that would have had trouble with reelected, and now we have all the districts across the country.
Do me a favor, I want you to work on that. I need research on that. All the ones, get that to me by at least Tuesday.
You can Google it now.
Yeah, long story.
I'm actually introducing you this morning. I'm actually introducing you to this morning to several of the FYN research that happened. No, okay, so you went somewhere and
Oh.
okay, now, this is a fun show. So, anyhow, well, you went somewhere that I want to follow with that part B. With Paul Ryan leaving, let's stay with that just a minute. What do you think?
I think if you can imagine everything from capital around, put Ryan on capital, and I think he's really been convinced not to run, because I do believe that there's a welling up of true Republicans that are on the lead. And so, with all of the Republicans that are slowing down, really, but they've had some serious problems. And they've had them for a long time. Now they're switching gears. So at the end of the research that I did, it's a good thing. And I don't think that Democrats should play. Some say, oh, if they're Rhino, you're stepping down, they want Democrats take their spot. But I believe they're stepping down because they've been strongly encouraged to. And I think the Republicans are going to take their spot. And I think they're going to keep Senator Brown.
Is there someone in his district or,
I'm not sure on that, but let's go with this, and I will say this. Here's what it makes me think about. Not because he's, I know he's a Democrat, but I watched, for some reason, I don't know. I watched Tip O'Neill's farewell speech on the House floor. Okay, Tip O'Neill is the former Speaker of the House. Okay, when Ronald Reagan was President of the United States, and I watched Tip O'Neill's farewell speech on the floor the other day. And Tip O'Neill said, paraphrasing it, Tip O'Neill said that his kids looked at him and said, you're more involved with your grandchildren. You're more involved with your grandchildren, and we only knew you on the weekend. Okay? And so when Paul Ryan says, look, I want to go home, I actually want to show up at the baseball game for the kids. I actually want to be there for high school football. I agree with that. But what does that all equal? Career politicians. You don't need to leave your family to serve this country. You don't need to make a career out of it. The founding fathers did not intend for you to be career politicians. They intended for you to go represent a district and go home. So
they only actually do like 160 days or something.
Right. So if you're out there today, and I guess this is my little, getting on my stool a little bit here, soapbox, but if you're out there today and you need to resign or finish a term so you can go home and you can be with your family and your family not grow up because you spent your life in Washington, D.C., think about what that is saying. It's saying you chose it as a career, which it should have never been, and there's no reason why you should be giving that speech. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, but if you look at it a little deeper than that, they come, if they stay 3, 4, 5, they come as a working guy, some are very wealthy, but they leave. Like Mueller, he's not a senator or a Republican, or a representative, but he's worth 13, 14 million. These guys come here and they leave. They're millionaires. And so I don't think, all this stuff about, I know he's a family man, I know he is, but he also wants power. He was the president, he liked power. He wanted to be the speaker. And I think if all of this underlying current wasn't going on, he would not be speaking. I'm not even sure he is. But that's kind of crazy out there. Where I come from, I think they've been just kind of told, you either go down or everyone's going to know it.
Well, I think you should assign your research department to find out what people's net worth were when they were elected to Congress and whatever it was when they left. And we used one of our own senators, Saxon Chambliss, whose net worth when he was appointed to fill Coverdale's seat was minus $16,000. So he had more debt than he had assets. And when he left, the Senate, his net worth was like 12 to 16 million. Now, on 174,000 a year, how do you get 16 million?
Well, and when it comes to Paul Ryan, I'm going to move on from this, but when it comes to Paul Ryan, it's like, okay, I'm still a young guy, got a young family, and I'm sitting right here to where I could choose from book deal or lobbyist or take both. And that's who we are now. We're a country of book
Sit on a
deals.
bunch of boards,
Right.
Lobbyists.
And
Yeah,
the
the
board,
board, Washington,
He's gonna be home. Didn't Trump sign something, you can't be a lobbyist?
He's got to sit out a year. He's got to sit out a year.
Okay,
His net worth, they said, is around 6 million, and they attribute more of that to his wife, who's a tax attorney, and they said just got a sizable inheritance. But his pensions for 20 years service is somewhere around 76, 78 million or thousand, and he also did Social Security.
Wow. There's a,
Good luck.
there's a Glenn Beck segment that was a few years ago, and it is with the gentleman who wrote the Clinton money, he renewed all
Clinton Cash.
Clinton Cash. And he tells you what senators invested in what and then how they voted. Insider trading is allowed in the Senate. They can hear one thing and go by it. It is not.
Yeah, they take the first.
You should watch it. I mean, Nancy Pelosi did the work.
Nancy
Nancy
Pelosi is the wealthiest congressman in the United States.
Again, well, some of that's for husbands, the realistic.
What are you taking the defense side of everything?
Check it out. Yeah, well, this looks.
I mean, in defense, what are you?
She's made millions on
Balance. Okay, so Paul Ryan's leaving, new Speaker of the House. Man, we gave him a nice send off. Nobody was really ugly about it. But who should take his place? Who should take his place? And does anybody, let's get the discussion. And how concerned are the Republicans in November? Now, if you had an opportunity to listen to my interview with Congressman Doug Collins, they are concerned. Are they not, Joey?
Yes.
Very concerned.
Could you listen to synopsis of that?
She can. How concerned are they? Who do you think should be the new Speaker of the House? And two, I'm going to call it how much trouble are the Republicans in trouble in November? And if so, how much trouble are they in?
Well, you've asked Doug Collins now twice, what are the Republicans going to run on? And each time, Doug Collins, who apparently is investing a lot of his own personal time traveling the country in support of elections in areas where there may be trouble. But they feel very strongly that the risk that, I don't know if you watched Hannity last night, I rarely do, but I happened to see Hannity last night. And they put up there a list of the accomplishments of President Trump. And it's pretty mind-boggling. However, most of the country has no idea because we don't hear anything about what's going on, what Trump is accomplishing, what the Congress is accomplishing. All you hear about are all of these stupid, ridiculous scandals, and I don't know if this is the place to put this in, but I'm dying to say this, as you know. And that is, I don't understand why we have all of this attention on, the Stormy Daniels or whatever that happened, 12 or 14 years ago, long before he ever considered running for president. And the emphasis on this, it's like, are we going to now start asking everybody that runs for office to give a list of every person that they've ever slept with and then ask if that's anything you might have paid for?
No,
You cannot run. It is
Just get
it would just be too lengthy.
Sorry, folks.
I just love it.
Am I red on the camera?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
No, what got me is she actually said on this show, you have to make a list of everybody you slept with. And then you have to put an asterisk. And I have to tell you, I have to say this because the Hall of Fame, right? Baseball Hall of Fame. I'm always saying if Barry Bonds gets in, he has to have an asterisk. And then that picture, you have to have an asterisk if you're paid, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
just check.
I don't know. I mean, like, is that?
The footnote at the bottom, asterisk means you paid.
Well, I mean, it's like, if you look at some of our past presidents that have proven that there was sexual relations outside of the marriage while they were in the White House, and that went by. You start with Roosevelt, right?
Wow.
Kennedy, and we got Clinton, and whatever. And here we are spending all of this time and all of this airtime by all the major networks on something that happened that long ago that it's nobody's business but Melania's and Donald Trump. And like, if you ask the average person, who cares?
Remember the slush fund?
Wait a minute, who
Do they
does
care about the slush fund where all those senators were paid off.
We talked about this before the election. The media is not gonna cut him any slack, and they're gonna look for a way to
Yeah.
any way they can manufacture.
Okay, that is
And it
correct.
keeps going on.
That is correct. And actually, yeah, but that is true. That is correct. And I don't want to say okay, but I'm okay with it if the media and the broadcast will come up every night and find a different strip club that the president was at and put $1 in some girl's t-shirt. I'm serious, I don't care, because that's where we're at. That's what we're talking about. It's not me bringing it up. It's not me bringing the level of the conversation down. That's what we're talking about. I don't care. But here's the thing, is we have a special counsel appointment that you and I are paying millions, probably over $100 million when this thing is done, if not more. Millions of dollars. That's supposed to look into if this person had some kind of secret deal with the Rooskies to get elected in Wisconsin and poor Hillary didn't win. We have established by everything that we know that that did not happen.
4 months ago, they said they had found no evidence of that. And then
What
recently-
are we doing? I think the American people are asking, okay, what are we doing now?
Mueller is looking for any kind of, linkage at all. So I think they're getting back to, if we paid this money to her through the lawyer, that maybe,
And it's something to do with the Russians?
no. It had
Well,
something to do with
That's what he
the
was hired for.
election rules, there was. some-
Election rules.
Yeah,
Yeah,
FEC.
violated campaign.
The Clintons sold the damn Lincoln bedroom.
They paid, so the Clintons paid for, okay, how many millions for that fake dossier?
It's fortunate,
Out
like
of the
what we
election
did,
campaign money.
and my mom's family Russian, but they probably both.
Bringing Trump down.
I agree, it's the end all.
She
We
was
have
like,
to stay
you need to
focused on
correct
that.
them, and we told her,
Okay,
She
let me
said
ask
it's
this,
not- it's
we're
not
gonna go somewhere.
correct
We're gonna
to
go
say
somewhere
the
to show
Russians
that
when you're talking
others
about
are
US
not going,
government.
I promise.
You're supposed to say the
Now,
Russian
see this,
government
okay, so.
because they
in
are a
end all, how
dictatorship.
concerned
But it's not
are
the
you-
Russian people, it's the Russian government.
How concerned are you
Yeah, but
that
talking about it on
a private citizen, because that's the tough time, Trump is a private
That's
citizen,
funny.
and his private
They
warrant,
all say Russian government.
FBI
Yeah.
goes in
I know.
at daylight,
They,
takes
all
the doors off,
Russians
and
are
comes
Americans.
in, and takes the files of Cohen and Trump, even recording, all the files, all
And to his home.
and to the apartment, his home free and apartment. What say you, how concerned are you this morning?
Mortified. But, an interesting thing that we're talking about. So think about what if in that office was the tape, now they say the comment was, yes, they have the comment, they have that. And they have some other things. What if those were in that office and in the pile of comments there? They found those and those have to be then put into the record. So that could be, there are things going on in the background that we don't have to know. But if this continues, breaking in a house
Do you want me to do
with
slides?
the DOJ signing off.
Shouldn't send anyone to us. We can
Yeah.
already use the other
That
two.
is Gestapo, SS, Mussolini tactics. I mean, it is unthinkable.
What say you?
They also, they made no effort to get a subpoena, which is how the law works on these money. They did not even attempt to get those records. So they go up there and.
So wait, let's clear up. So wait a minute, and not to interrupt you, but sometimes what I like to do on the show is make sure we double back and explain what we're talking about. The attorney could have the Southern District of New York, which the Southern District of New York attorney's office could have issued a subpoena to Cohen. Should have issued a subpoena to Cohen requiring all the documents. And then if Cohen would not have complied, he would have been in contempt, correct?
Again, this is all arm's length from you.
Right.
All arm's length from you.
But that's what should have happened.
Yes, that's how our law works.
Right.
And unless this Cohen.
Because there is attorney-client privilege.
Yes, unless this was something where they thought he was doing something to thwart the whole United States, you know, and it was, they just needed to storm in and
Right.
stop
Storm, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Sports, yeah, like good one.
It's really bad. But no, they went in there and took everything that has to do with everything. Okay? They don't have, what if he was also my attorney? They now have my stuff.
No, the thing that interested me is they had the nerve to say what they did is they sent it to a third neutral party that's going to sort through it and see what is germane to the investigation that needs to go over to. Really, who is this?
Yeah, who right there?
Who is this that's
Their
gonna
cousin
go
was
through
in
it?
there, uncle's in there.
The little sisters of the forest.
It's just
Yeah.
scary, and they started.
That was good.
Set a precedent. And they
Okay,
set a
so-
precedent that-
So they go in, they take the documents. How concerned are you today that took place?
It totally diminishes our rule of law and should never have happened. That's the protection we have as citizens, as individuals. And there are procedures that could have been followed. And if those have failed, then they stormed in, you know, that's different. They made no effort to do it according to
All
law.
right, let me say this. Can you briefly, and we'll get your case, Bruce, I can see it over here. Could you briefly explain to the audience, the definition of attorney-client privilege?
Well, I'm not a lawyer, but in my opinion, interpretation of it, that anything that, when you hire a lawyer, when you engage them.
You signed a document of engaging them to represent you, yes.
Anything that you provide to that, anything you say to that, is protected.
Well, Bruce ain't got to talk it all this time.
Cannot compel the lawyer to betray that attorney-client privilege. And now, but if the lawyer becomes part of the investigation, which occasionally does happen, and now you're gonna want them to be a witness or whatever, that's really, why it's so important that you done
What's the
right.
biggest
They could have
promotion
subpoenaed him and
for the
wanted
NRA
every bit of
endorsement?
communication between the lawyer and Trump. They would propose that. They
So
would
basically, he'll get it now.
Cohen at some point would probably produce most of what they wanted. Because that's just how lawyers are. They seem to all.
That's in discovery, right? I mean, you send the subpoena, or if you have discovery. Bruce, what were you gonna say?
I think there's
Yeah,
a cat, you know, that's gonna be kind of an example of constitutional breach. I agree with both of what they have said, I mean, in the sense that it's way over the line, and, you know, they're sort of manufacturing this and saying that, well, if the lawyer was involved in some criminal procedure or acts, you know, on behalf of the client or himself, that justifies the knock down the door, going and grab everything. It's a stretch.
Well, wait a
It's a
minute.
total stretch.
And again, this isn't like treason or something, or national security. We're talking about a violation, a potential violation of campaign election law, okay? And that's worthy of destroying our whole rule of law.
And that's all they got, I mean, they're Russia. I mean, they have nothing to do with Russia. They've got so far up people.
The issue was so minuscule, and to go in and violate our whole rule of law to try to prove something that was
Worthless.
yes.
Anything they
Not
can do to
impacting
drag them,
community.
anything, I mean, that's how,
And they just wanted
desperate they
to,
are.
I think they wanted to just play out all this, whatever it is, until November. They want negative information.
November's not,
November.
November's not the end all. I think,
No,
I
I think.
think,
I'm the only one.
I think since he announced that he's running in 2020, they're determined now to destroy him to make sure that it can't possibly, because they've accepted the fact.
Okay,
that-
I call it, we're
So many
gonna
darts in
Yeah.
there.
we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna follow this up because I call it when the CNN reporter asked Sarah Huckabee Sanders if Donald Trump had considered leaving office. Okay? As silly as that may sound, I think what happened this past week with the attorney and, with Michael Cohen and raiding his office and CNN asking that question, I call it the deep state has gone into Operation Leave Quietly. What I call Operation Leave Quietly. I'll explain what I mean about that when we come back from break.
You're clear.
Only on that one.
Yeah, they told him you've got a chance to leave quietly. That's what they said. You can leave quietly. You don't kill him.
He's not gonna leave.
Kill him.
They've already
No, he's gonna leave.
kidnapped all his
I am so,
You think he's gonna leave?
no, they are gonna make it.
No, he's not gonna leave.
But he's gonna
They're make him, and he's not gonna
Is he afraid to get killed?
leave. No.
Look,
I bet you.
I would have thought when he started nothing, but this, right now, I'm at the point of telling him, leave quietly. You can walk out,
No.
We know he's not.
You're saying.
That's
yes.
what, no, I'm saying they're telling him, the deep state is saying,
That
this
may
is
be
your
true,
chance.
but he's not gonna
I call it
leave.
Operation, the deep state has stages. And they're at what I call Operation Leave Quietly.
They're at
Look,
starting a war.
We haven't,
They're at
what I'm trying to tell you.
quiet.
No, he could actually come out today and say, "To hell with all of you," and go back to the gold tower and shit on my gold throne, okay? Sorry to put it that way, but I don't know. I just
Brian.
throw something in there. But he could come out today, and go to the podium and say that, right? And say it's been nice and I'm leaving you with Michael Pinson, who's a great man, and Melania and I have enjoyed the 14 months of serving our country. He could do that today and go home and they will leave him alone.
So are you saying you think he will?
No, it's the deep state sending their,
He's saying the offer's on the table.
That's why they're arguing.
no. you-
Wow.
What I'm saying is now,
I feel like I'm talking about.
now he's going to be in, now they're going to set in, you didn't leave quietly.
Every day of my life is like,
You didn't leave quietly. We gave you your out. And it's next step. The final step, they kill Trump. This country is so far gone, they kill that son of a bitch.
They want to start a war, August 3, August. They want to start a war. And that.
I mean, you gotta understand me when I say, I hope there's so many things that I come on the show that I love to be correct about. I'm not being arrogant, but there's so many things that come on and I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I tell you, there's things that scare the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, they scare the hell out of me. You got the Department of Justice, you got the State Department's in a mess. Did you listen to them questions? I don't know.
A little bit. Start by start, pretty benign.
It's crazy as hell.
Got 30 seconds, guys. Hey, Bruce and Brian, I've got you guys framed in, so don't lean back too far when you're talking.
Well, actually, let's go. Let me go. Let's wrap up Trump, and then I'm going to say you're not here that often, and I do know you always make a list of things that you say I wanted to say, so we'll give you that. And outside of the time, I think really no New Jersey, New York, Christmas and Plano. You just north and south, Plano, New York.
We just worked the midsection. Our closure, Chicago.
Hey, Brian, we don't have a new slideshow because they didn't send us anything from the Humane
All right,
Society.
so we're going to-
So go straight through, but mention them.
Oh,
and then,
I'll mention it.
all right. And we are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Beautiful spring day up here in North Georgia. Going to be a great weekend to come visit us. Come on up 5:15. Don't stop till you get up here and look around, find a cabin, go to one of our beautiful wineries here in North Georgia. So much to do. Come up and visit us this weekend. Now, let me explain what I was saying, and I'm going to try to clear the confusion up. One, I believe there's a deep state. Relax, because I can set you off. No,
You can set me off on this belief that you actually believe it.
yes. Okay. I believe there's a deep state. I believe the State Department, Hillary Clinton went through there, and John Kerry and others, even on the Republican side, and I believe the Department of Justice with Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch and others. I believe the deep state is, we're in a mess. I don't want to be a negative person, but we're in a mess there. So I believe President Trump, with this past week, the deep state has operations. And I think with this past week, with them going in and taking the records from the attorney, Michael Cohen, and just really scaring a lot of Americans, up to the point where they're causing so many problems with Stormy Daniels, a Playboy model, and the Access Hollywood tape that they want, and everything going on, and CNN asking very nicely to Sarah Huckabee Sanders, has the president thought about just leaving office? That's serious. Now, this week I played on the show, okay? And I played a minute and 50-second clip of Richard Nixon walking out of the White House past Gerald Ford and everybody, getting on Marine Force One and leaving the southern lawn of the White House. And I played the CBS report like they were calling a golf game really low. Here comes the president. They're walking. Now, when he tops the trees, he'll no longer be president of the United States anymore. I played that clip because, folks, that's the view. That's the clip that they long to see. The president of the United States leaving and them doing that same segment. So I call it Operation Leave Quietly. What I mean is I believe the deep state has sent the messages through the media, through what they did with the attorney, through everything they could. They said, Mr. President, you can leave quietly now, but you will leave when we're done. That's just my opinion. Now, do I think Donald Trump will leave on his own? No. Do I think Donald Trump will leave without the biggest fight you've ever seen in this country? No. But do I think they're determined he will leave? Yes.
How bad will the fight be for the country?
Don't know, but they will. Because why is Comey? Let's switch to Comey. Why is Comey now a hero? He wrote a book. He's a hero to the left. No, to the left. No, he was supposed to. There was a time when they didn't like him because, he came back out and said the investigation was over and Democrats didn't like him.
The Inspector General was supposed to release a report yesterday on the Comey issue.
Never again.
Now,
Never again.
until the book comes out.
Every Christmas it's coming down your way. It's turned around.
Our country is a book deal now. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So Comey's going on all these shows, is exaggerating things, making everything sound
He's
so
on the
much
TV
bigger.
background. We should just do it like the camera can be closer. We don't have to have the camera 20 feet
They
away.
want to sell however many millions of copies because everybody's going to eat up all of the lies. I mean, why would you buy a book that you know is all half fabricated? I mean, I realize they had their issues between each other, but like, why is that something important to read when you realize that it's like in that Fire book or whatever, where he said in the front of it, and even wrote that most of it wasn't true and was supposition and whatever. So I mean, like, and then our news people report segments of a book as if it was, a true fact.
Well, you know what is interesting is yesterday in the Pompeo, all right, there's senators reading paragraphs from, on this day, in a Washington Post article, it was written that you said this, this, and this. Well, realistically, you're under oath. When you're under confirmation hearings, you're under oath. Realistically, in court, we all know they're not going to let a newspaper article in court. They don't even use that. But these people, if you will sit and listen, they keep referring to, well, in the New York Times on this day, it was written. Wait a minute, that's a media source. That's not what we're hearing. Right, that's not
Evidence or
But
whatever.
a lot of Americans don't look at those confirmation hearings. They, they might see like a sound clip or something.
Yeah, that's just it. And then they're only
sound
gonna see a
clip.
sound clip.
I'll show you the
What-
picture of What? I want to go get this.
All right, don't worry.
Stop. You already complained about those. That's karma for Cody, okay? Like, if I don't know, I'm not that much active about chicken, like.
I want to say something on the deep state though. I want to say the problem with the deep state right now is the fact that they
I'm
don't
excited.
have an avenue to trust. All the other presidents are controlled by the deep state because they were controlled
No,
by
it's
an
like-
old guard of either
Wait, seriously,
Democrats or
look at it.
Republicans. Trump
You look
isn't
at it.
controlled by anybody.
No.
He isn't a politician. He
Picture
doesn't
all of-
belong
Look at that
to
one.
the powers that be in the Republican Party. So the deep state, the people that really run what's going on in the government, which is why it doesn't matter.
You
whether
are
they're
crazy.
It doesn't
Like,
matter.
look at that
They
one.
don't have an
No.
in, they don't have an
Oh
avenue.
my god, that one looks like a little pincher.
Control. Trump, so they don't know what to do.
I sent Cody that screenshot and I was like, hey dad.
No, I disagree with that. The deep
You
state is
know,
everywhere.
a
McMaster,
wrap
the
for
deep
us.
state.
Oh my god, it's
There are
so
many,
cute.
and he's getting rid of them. As he learns it and he sees it, there are a lot of deep state people still.
That's why he triggered the next level of the
He is
deep
absolutely
state. That's what
trying
I'm
to get
saying.
rid of them. They're still
When
there. And they do have an avenue, and he knows.
you think about this, people will think I've lost my mind, but you name John Bolton and you name Mike Pompeo, and you don't even have 10 days past, your attorney's office has gone through and gone through and so on and so forth, and you think it's a coincidence that some of these things are happening the way they are. I believe he has kicked the deep state into the next operation.
You
That's
have
what I'm trying to say.
thousands of positions to fill when you become
Do you
president.
know SES? Do you know that? The SES. Senior executive.
No.
Okay, look that. That's essentially the deep state, very powerful. And it's too long to mention now, but it's been, everyone's talking about it, learning about it. And just look that up. About the
They're giving all this grief for getting rid of and cleaning the house. With so many positions to fill when you took over, most of the people, when they're slid in, they already know who all is gonna take the position. He didn't know any of those people, so he accepted lots of people.
Yes.
Okay, that were referred to him by the Republican Party, or left a lot of the Obama people in place.
As you get acclimated, Mr. President, you can start making the changes. If you do today, you will disrupt the flow, the workflow that does have to happen. And there is a certain amount that does have to happen. So now he's filtering through, he's making the changes in several of the areas. But he's, what say you, Bruce, where does this end and when? What do you think?
Operationally quietly
Or did the whole thing? I mean, when it doesn't?
we're gonna, I think, bump along through probably some adventure in Syria. I think there will be ramifications rippling through the markets all the way up until the end.
Do you realize if he can pull off a deal? Now, this is why I've asked Congressman Collins twice, what are Republicans running on? Because perception is not reality, but perception is real. The perception of most voters is, hey, you did not defund Planned Parenthood. The perception is you did not end Obamacare.
Yeah.
The perception is you did not do this, this, and this that you promised us. Okay? So what are you really running on? Yes, there's a list of achievements that the President of the United States has that are hard to get out. But do you think if the President goes and pulls off a deal with North Korea, an amazing deal with North Korea, that June would be perfect timing to go into the midterms and say, look, this is not the madman you think it is. Send me to work with Donald Trump. look what he's doing, you need to send me to work with the president. The Democrats would have never backed that. I mean, is that a possibility?
There's a slim possibility. I don't know if something as complex as North Korea can have a solution by.
I think so that if it works out with NAFTA and a deal with China on the tariffs, will go a lot further to the average everyday citizen that understand, at least knows that there's a trade war type of thing. They don't understand, what's going on. The thing that most people don't understand about President Trump is he is a negotiator. He's a businessman. And when he did all those tariffs, it was because you can't negotiate with someone if you have nothing to give up, which is how the United States, the position that we've been in after 8 years of Obama, to gave away everything. Trump was creating and putting all the tariffs on all those things. Now he can sit down with China and he's got something to give back. And that's what's happened. China now has reduced the tariffs on our automobiles, all the things they had the tariffs on. And that's why the market went back up again. That's how
China.
He's a businessman. It's the same thing with North Korea. It's the same thing with NAFTA. And if he can get a NAFTA deal and get things solidified with China and North Korea would be extra bonus. If it could ever be discussed on mainstream media so that people would actually know those things happen, then I think we won't have a problem in November. And I think that's what Trump's working on.
And the other is Obamacare. I mean, they're still working behind the scenes and they have Obamacare trying to get a fix for that. So I mean, if something like that comes out over the summer, we're involved. That could help a lot.
I want to say we have plenty of time, but we're still good here. Every time you visit, as soon as we go off, you say, I wanted to say this, wanted to say that. So say it.
Well, I did want to comment.
Where's your list? You got a list?
I did want to comment because being up here in Norwich, on our show, one of the days this week, you had one of the new city council, Ron Gaddis.
Ken Gaddis.
Okay. And he said something that I just, I wanted to start clapping. And that is that he's introduced or is working on where a private citizen can actually speak at the council meetings at the work session and we've got questions. And that is something that we've had in Gilmer County now for quite a while, which I fought really hard for, and it's so different to go to council meetings in Gilmer County as opposed to Fannin. And I've watched at the Fannin meetings where there's all this uproar, and the reason there's an uproar, people only come and petition and protest when they can't speak. If you would just let a person raise their hand and ask a question or present why they think that wouldn't work, or did you take into account that 10 a.m. would be better than 9 a.m. or whatever. I mean, 5 members or however many members are in the city council can't know everything and how a law will affect everybody. And so when you let people say or ask questions, you end up with a much better government and people that are much less antagonistic. I mean, people only. Anyway,
well, the fear is like it gets unruly, because like with the regime before, I mean, people were just going back and forth on personality.
Because they couldn't speak.
Well, I mean, they had their 3-minute thing, but they had to sign up beforehand and everything. They could do that, but yeah, questions from the floor were not options. It would make things unruly.
But when people right, and that's what they tried to say in Gilmer County, and it's never been a problem. And if
but they did put some things in place. Okay, there's no reason you can't have the meeting, you can't have First Amendment speech protected, and can't have some sort of organization in orderly fashion.
Right, and
it can go together.
And if 50 people show up because they're upset about something, they can say, okay, I see there's a lot of people, and if you want to come up and say something, but don't say the same thing that someone else has said. So next thing you know, there's only 4 people that want to speak, because after there's only so many things wrong with something, you know, I mean, 50 people don't need to say the same.
You know what I have? I have had the opportunity to witness in a council meeting, or let's just say a government meeting. Is there, at one time, there was a zoning issue, and there was about 100 people in the room, and the chairman said, you know, obviously, the majority of you here today are here because of so-and-so, so-and-so. How many of you are here in opposition? If you'll raise your hand, and then raise your hand. How many of you are here in favor? All I'm asking is that every one of you are welcome. I've heard him say this. Every one of you are welcome to this podium when we vote, and make your comments, and we'll sit here all day if we have to listen to every one of you. But if all 50 of you are just going to come up and say, I don't think we should have it, then if what somebody in front of you said, what you wanted to say, if you'll just do it to favor in time. Very polite people say, okay, everybody knows, right? So you got to say, so you're happy 10 guys said that. What else you got? I mean, you always say, well, I was going to say that.
Well, I mean, it's sort of like, the whole purpose of our government is to have representatives, and that's sort of like why I've been upset about our 7th district representatives, in that we don't really have a voice down in the state capital, because, and that's something that's troubling me. You know, I'm incumbent of being able to get up and say what or to be able to speak to my representatives, and I want my representative to come and have meetings that we can speak at. I mean, even Doug Collins has meetings, and he might have to drive all the way to Gainesville, but, you know, he lets me, you know, ask questions, and he answers the questions, and that's.
Your guy for the 7th?
No, he's our U.S. Congressman.
Oh,
For our 7th district.
Whoa.
Well, we don't ever have any meetings like that.
Right.
There's never a town hall meeting, there's never in the public way to ever ask questions on our
Oh, yeah, I got it.
David Rossman,
Yes, sir.
there's the Speaker of the House, and all
You're
this
welcome.
kind of stuff.
I knew I forget so.
Now, let me say it.
Say-
Okay, well, wait a minute. Now, let me say something, okay? Let me say something. Guess what?
What?
There was 150 people in the room yesterday. And after Mr. Ralston finished speaking, he said, I am now open for questions. And with 150 people in the room, okay, he went over a list, and some of the opponents were in the room, so they could speak to this, not just me. I was there. He went over a list of things that happened in the session, whether you agree to call them accomplishments or not, and then afterwards, he opened up for questions. So never is, you know, and I have been to several things. Now, if you're saying he hasn't held a town hall, or he hasn't just come where, you know, to whatever, I'll agree with that.
Publicly advertised that he was going to be there, and everybody could come to that thing. It was a chamber lunch, and we don't belong to the chamber. And if it had been advertised that he could come and ask questions, then that's one thing, but to be at a place that nobody knew was going to be there, and then to ask questions of the people that are there from the chamber, they aren't necessarily the people that have questions.
I don't disagree with you.
The chamber.
No, yes. I don't disagree with you.
We were invited, I don't invite us.
I know we had a fundraiser together. That's what I meant.
I do not disagree with you. That's not an argument. I agree with you that town halls or things like that should be held by all representatives.
Yes.
So let's make sure we're on the same page. All representatives, regardless of district you're at.
Yes.
All council members, regardless of district you're at. All county elected officials, all congressmen, every last one of them should be beholden to the citizens
Exactly.
and be able to, citizens should be able to speak to their representatives.
Yes,
period. I agree with that.
yes.
You're never gonna get this argument.
Because how can you represent somebody that you have no idea what their issues are, what they're thinking about? I mean,
Anything else on this? Are you sure? Because I really thought you were going to bring up the brilliance, my brilliance Tuesday.
Oh my gosh,
I
Brian.
really thought you were gonna highlight how brilliant.
Why do you
my
need someone to
statement-
pat you on the back all the time?
I really do get it. I thought you were gonna say, I wanna close.
You're
with
patting
this."
on
Yes.
Oh, see, I didn't know what you're talking about, but you said that Tony was going to refer to the president.
As a mom, yeah, that's, and then the very next day it came out.
Yes, okay, well.
That inside information.
No, I just watch everything they do. I put the picture up Tuesday. I put the picture up of John Gotti. And I said Tuesday morning on the show, I said, people, you need to understand. They want to frame this guy as a mafioso. They want to treat his attorney like Bruce Cutler, like John Gotti's attorney, Bruce Cutler. I said, you need to pay attention to what they're trying to do. They're trying to frame this guy like he's some mob boss.
Do not do that.
I said Tuesday, I have a clip, we played it. Wednesday, the promo for ABC came out, and Comey's referred to him as a monster. How long you been in Tuesday? Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir.
Right? So I thought you were gonna
I
refer
am
to
a special guest.
that, but I refer to it myself, so we'll leave that.
Two gentlemen.
This is the third time you've brought
Okay,
it up,
so Bruce, final comment. We want to make sure we have 15 minutes left in the show, so it gives us enough time to talk. a
I
little
do
bit.
misses or?
You can do winners and losers, final comment, how you feel about the weather. It's your time.
The weather's great, but we'll go back to the question you asked earlier. People for the speaker, the two name letters, Steve Scalise and Kevin McCarthy. So I'm not sure either one of them is, better than the other, but, someone will fill the position and, what are they gonna do between now and like the midterms? It's gonna be sort of a, just fill the position and not too much. I'll save my misses for later.
And you?
Well, you got another thing that we actually had a Democrat running for the 7th district. State house.
Ladies.
No, Rick Day. And I was really surprised, I guess would be my word. Right out of the box when you asked him why I was running. And this fits in with what Dr. Whaley was saying earlier. And he's running on legalizing not just medical marijuana, but recreational marijuana. And he was quite emphatic about it. I mean, he just really worked up on it. And that is his main platform. And that is his platform. And there are other things, but that is the reason that he is running. And so listening to Dr. Whaley talk about, and I don't know if that's why he brought that up, but the studies in Colorado after it was legalized, I thought was very interesting. I think medical marijuana is probably
Somebody had a calculator, right?
available for all kids and elderly.
Yeah.
That's right, I was off.
And I personally am opposed to recreational marijuana, but not so much so that I would, sort of campaign against it, but I think that.
Do you think that issue will resonate with voters in the 2nd district?
Well, it's
Young
funny,
voters?
when you say young voters, and that's what I thought, but when I talked with Mr. Day before he was on the show a couple of weeks ago, and when he told me that was his reason for running, I said, well, I wouldn't make that very clear, because I didn't think that would go over very big. He said, no, that is the reason that I'm running. And he was extremely strongly about it, and he cited all kinds of people in this district that are 60 and 70 years old that want access to recreational marijuana. But they still get it different places. And the more I thought about it, I thought, my generation, I've never smoked. I've never smoked a joint. I had.
Did you inhale?
No, I didn't have it on.
I don't have problems with that, much like other things we're running for office.
You better finish,
That's
Jesus.
the kidney generation where college years, everybody was so and I never could understand why anybody would want to kind of not be there, it's sort of like going to their own space. But when he said that, I thought, people that are 70 are people that grew up in the hippie generation. What is it, the brawl thing?
Burn your bra.
Yeah, burn your bra.
All right, listen.
And so he's saying that there's a lot of people that support this in Gilmer, Fannin County that are over 60. And it may be fake, I'm not sure I can argue that. I don't know anybody, but I'm sure I know people that smoke marijuana, I just don't know that they do. I've never seen anybody sit around and smoke a joint, but that doesn't mean that I don't know.
Well, next time you bump into them and you pass them, are you paying attention? And maybe stop.
Listen,
All right, what do you got, Jamie?
I don't know. You said about everything. Look it up, Brian. I can, but I'm not.
Should anything, you don't juggle, nothing?
I used to juggle, but I can't.
Should sections have fire drills yesterday?
Without a doubt. Rosen scene. It's tricky with sessions because if session goes and Rosen scene's there, we're getting a lot. Sessions is an anomaly. I don't know what's going on with him, but we do know what's going on with Rosen.
Yeah.
So if cut fire sessions and Rosen scene's there, that is the deepest.
Well, if session fires Rosen
Yeah.
first, then I don't know who's third.
But it looks like he would have already done it. Yeah, I don't either. So that's a really good theory.
Well, I will say this, you gotta think about firing sessions, which I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, but everything he's doing right now revolves around confirmation. I mean, who in the world are you gonna put up that can get confirmed with them doing these dog and pony shows? But I don't think you can get confirmed.
On what? You mean on the,
Projection.
yeah.
I think Trump tweeted this morning at the end of his tweet that it was an honor to have fired Trump, okay? However, you realize that Trump fired him, but Rosenstein, who wrote the memo.
Rosenstein wrote the recommendation
That's
to.
fire.
Right.
Still sitting there. There's a lot more going on underneath the radar. Really underneath the radar. In Syria, I believe it's just a big play. It was a brilliant play on Trump's part. He's causing the deep state to show because it was very serious. He said, we're leaving Syria. Russia said, we're leaving Syria. Why would Syria then have a gas attack? Hello, I'm getting rid of Russia and I'm getting rid of the U.S. But what happened? I believe that when they said we're leaving, when we said we're leaving, they want a war. The deep state wants a war. They did the attack in Syria. They did that false flag in Syria, so we would go back. But Trump knew it. They would have to show their hand. And that's not going to escalate into a war.
Do you think gas attack was done by Syrian rebels?
Or the deep state. I saw pictures yesterday of McCain meeting with Syrian rebels. Many photographs. And there was also a list of McCain goes to Syria, and then within a year there's a huge false flag. He may be carrying the gas because his wife has a smile thing that fixes wonderful children's lips, and it's all great. But they go in there and that's how they can be.
I understand. She is on that million smile.
She is.
Yeah.
And she goes to the same places McCain goes. How do you put the gas in? McCain is a serious issue. So I think I'm a little, my position, I think I'm too way out there for this stuff. Frankly, I think I'm just too into the deep state. I spend a lot of time studying that. and it just makes you nervous. So, you know.
No, we have this great
Yeah,
thing
it
called freedom of
It's
speech.
No, I know, but
I'm not Mark Zuckerberg.
I'm
What are you
excited.
implying? I'm Mark Zuckerberg and this is Facebook? And
Mhm.
then our team, what is our team gonna do, Amanda? What did he say, their enforcement? team?
We're gonna pin your enforcement
Our
errors.
team made an error. Our enforcement team made an error.
Oh, please.
Our enforcement team won't make.
We're not gonna censor
you
you.
want to know one interesting fact about Facebook? The
Just one.
The government, just one, in 2012 or 14, I don't remember the date. The government had a program, and I don't remember the name of it, which is in the journal, and where they were creating a program that would know everything about us. They know a lot now, but every single, what doctors we go to, if we have, and so then they kind of got found out. They shut that program, I think it was April the 14th, 2000 something. Facebook started on that. And then Zuckerberg just says, oh, I'm working with Mueller. It's classified. So people are saying that government organization that was just getting us all in our boxes was transferred over to Facebook. And so now Facebook is in a lot of trouble. They've been found out.
I don't think they're involved in something
like that. It's gonna be worse.
Joey, did you learn anything this week with Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook? Bruce, did you think? I'm like John McLaughlin. Let's go. You didn't miss it. What did anybody learn? What did anybody learn this week with Mark Zuckerberg?
He's a smart guy. He got very well coached. I mean, and I think he dodged a lot of bullets.
Sat on a booster seat, like he was at Denny's.
Yep.
Ordering a Grand Slam breakfast.
And he got Royce.
Yeah, he was on a boost, was he?
Yeah.
Then he got Royce.
Another funny fact about him, did you know that spell checker always wants to correct his last name as Cheeseburger?
That's what we're-
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's cheesy. I was very impressed initially. I mean, the first 3 or 4 hours, and he answered a lot of questions in very detail, and he didn't hesitate about answering anything. He told them anything they wanted to know, but he's gotten really good at saying, I'm sorry. And so if he acknowledged that really, that's a good idea, and, we shouldn't have done that, I think what'll come out of this is there'll be a few more buttons to click to turn things on. But he said over and over and over, they do not sell their data. The data is available, and you as an advertiser say what target you want, and they have all that data, and that's where your ads go. But those data doesn't go to them.
I think the advertisers see it. They don't
Yeah,
buy
well,
it.
but the thing is I listened to him. There's a couple takeaways. I listened to him several times, and one of the takeaways is every answer. Our team is going to research that. We are definitely going to put our research in. Our team is going to
We're all right,
review
maybe
it.
I'll get back to you.
Right.
He answered the question.
Yeah, but the team, he took a lot of stuff back to the team. I'm gonna respectfully disagree. I don't think he answered a lot.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what he answered.
But the
Let me tell you-
he's okay.
Let me tell you what he answered. He answered everything that would reflect the stock. If no, he did give some answers. And he knew already in a frame the subjects that would reflect Facebook's stock. Now, those are the areas he projected what you may feel is an answer. To me, we'll get back to you. Then the other takeaway is, what is the team with Diamond and Silk? Hey,
Did you
Diamond and
see
Silk.
Ted Cruz? Did you see?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz questions is the crux of that. I don't know. I don't know that we've ever discriminated. Well, he does. He most certainly does know. And to me, you can go into that, and there's got to be one person who said, you're a danger to our society on sugar and spice, whatever. There's a person that says, take them off.
And everything nice.
Take them off. I don't watch sugar. and
He didn't
spice.
say puppy dog test.
No, but he knows that they are biased, and he knows.
Okay, what did they say? Wait, what did they say? Our enforcement team,
Yes.
right?
Our team made an enforcement error.
Our team made an enforcement error. you gotta take that sentence and you gotta realize our team is an enforcement error, meaning there's not Johnny down the hall on the left that just doesn't like diamond and silver. They have an enforcement team.
And for the team who made an error.
That means
instead of
multiple
one person,
people,
yes.
exactly.
But also Ted Cruz was younger and dealt with, he gave very specific questions. You realize, if you look at the age of the majority of those people questioning, they don't understand one bit about Facebook other than their wife shares pictures of the grandkids.
They understand it's a danger.
Yes, but they didn't.
That's
So do I.
They
That's
didn't
all they
ask
need
the
to understand.
question. They asked questions.
All right, winners or losers? We're at the end of the show.
I have two losers. Ironic that Syria, starting next week, will chair the 65-nation UN Disarmament Forum, which produced the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which also covers chemical and biological weapons. Syria is in charge. And my other loser was this young lady from Fort Pierce, Florida, who was driving along. She got stopped for cocaine in her purse. She admitted to having marijuana there. She said the cocaine must have blown in through the window. I didn't see it.
Must have flown in through the window.
Kind of closing with a winner and loser. So if you want to take quick, all right, you got a winner and a loser? Folks, first of all, we want you to stick around for the slideshow from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge.org. No slideshow from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge.org. So don't stick around.
already
So
told
a
them
little
to.
programming note. But let me close with this. You are data. I have told you that all week. The grocery stores have decided to let you know that you can have 3% off on your pork chops if you will scan your card, and you are data. CVS has decided that if you give them your phone number and everything like that, they will give you a list of coupons this long when you check out for a pack of gum because you are data. You have been and will be okay with being data. And Facebook sold your data because that's who you are. So when you go in to place a Facebook ad and you want to spend $10 and you go to the next screen, it asks you how old, how many people, what areas, what zip code, ladies, men, age, boom, boom. You are data. So when you hear, Cambridge Analytica got your data and used it, you are not quite that upset when Barack Obama got your data and used it. You are data. That's it. Done. We have moved on to another place in this world to where selling your data, knowing where you're at. Damn it, I am so tired of you asking me, I'm going to say something to end the show, hoping you'll come back.
Here we go.
Okay? I'm going to say it ending, hoping you will come back. If you go down to the restaurant, I see on Facebook your ass is checked in somewhere, but then on Tuesday you're all upset because the government knows where you're at. Well, you tell everybody everywhere you go. Because every time I look, you've checked in.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Paul Ryan, we wish you well, but I do remember you have recently given us the 2 biggest omnibus debt-busting bills, spending bills in history as a Republican. I'm sorry, you're leaving with that. Don't tell me about your tax cut plan. Don't tell me about being a deficit hawk and your time on the Ways and Means Committee that you chaired. You are leaving, busting the budget, and increasing the debt. End of story. We hope, I do, that somebody like Jim Jordan is the next Speaker of the House. Not Scalise. I'm glad you got over being shot and everything like that, but I don't want you Speaker of the House. And Andy McCarthy, you do have nice hair. I recognize nice hair, but not Speaker of the House. We'll see you Monday. We got a special. Follow us on Facebook this weekend. We have a special announcement. You don't want to miss our Facebook for Monday's show. I'm very serious. Thanks, Adam.
You're clear.
Yeah.
But he's ended.
Did I say that? It doesn't. Exactly. You our data people, stop. Quit crying over. Quit crying who sold your data.
Rhinestone is.
I Googled how.
Sugar and spice.
You wanna see the-
And all the things